Tēnā koutou e te whānau. I just wanted to share with you my thoughts about the recent Ministry of Health press release on the Therapeutic Products Bill. I think we're being played again, whānau. The Minister of Health's press release about the Therapeutic Products Bill earlier this week offered little more than was proposed by the Crown in 2018 in response to the Natural Health Products Bill. The only obvious addition is a Crown-appointed Māori advisory to itself. If the Crown had responded to Y262 instead of continuing to avoid doing so, there would be no need for this discussion. But addressing the Y262 report would require the Crown to commit themselves to the reality that Māori retained their rights of rangatiratanga over our taonga in 1840, and we continue to do so today. Reclassifying our taonga as natural health products or medical devices is a deliberate attempt to circumvent the Crown's obligations to Māori and Te Tiriti. Essentially, the Crown has graciously conceded in its press release that so long as Māori limit rongoā to a cottage industry, they will allow it. However, should Māori show signs of or attempt any serious commercial venture, the Crown retains the right to set the rules and conditions. Conditions that would much more easily be met by large multinational corporates here in Aotearoa, while at the same time opening the door for offshore companies to claim rongoā status on the international market while holding Māori back from that same space. Another point I'd like to make is that Māori are not advisors to the Crown on rongoā. We are the authority on rongoā, and we have a kaitiaki responsibility, real skin in the game, to this precious taonga. The Crown and the Ministry of Health know nothing of rongoā, and I, for one, am not about to hand my mana in the rongoā space to the Crown so they can decide what we can and can't do in that space. Nothing that Māori are demanding impacts any other sector here in Aotearoa or any other population group. The changes proposed by the Crown fail to confirm Te Tiriti as the basis for these changes, nor do they acknowledge rangatiratanga. These terms are conspicuous by their absence in the Crown statement this week. We need to read between the lines, whānau. Ministers Verrall and Henare are clear that the Crown went too far when they drafted the bill, but they knew that when they were drafting it. I, for one, am not grateful for this great epiphany or implied concession on their part. Their generosity insults our intelligence. We are being played again, whānau. In most cases, government will not regulate rongoā Māori in the regulatory system. That's what they say. In most cases. What does that even mean? They will not regulate rongoā except where they choose to? Exemption with exceptions is not exemption, and it sure as hell is not rangatiratanga. The Crown have deliberately missed the point. Deliberately. Rongoā is a taonga, and the Crown have no place in interfering with it on any level. And while I have no personal interest in the commercial or wholesale export of rongoā Māori, Māori have always traded rongoā and reserve the right to continue to do so on our own terms and those of our chosen trading partners, not the Crown's. You cannot be half pregnant, and you cannot have self-determination at the behest of a third party, i.e., you can only have self-determination when the Crown says so. Do not be fooled by the Crown whānau. This matter must be addressed in its fullness in the proposed supplementary order paper, not subject to secondary legislation and promises made by the current administration, who may not even be at the table, let alone in a position to keep such promises in the future. The current administration were genuine in their intent toward Māori. The bill must reconfirm rongoā as a taonga and reconfirm authority over rongoā sits with respective whānau, iwi, and hapu, who are the experts in this field, not the Crown and not Crown-appointed Māori. We repeat our position on the matter. The Therapeutic Products Bill, through the supplementary audit paper, not some secondary legislation, must recognise Māori rights of rangatiratanga over our taonga as guaranteed in Te Tiriti, and nothing in the Therapeutic Products Bill shall apply to Rongoā Māori. For the Crown to claim that they have insufficient time to do this before the passage of the bill through the House is an absolute crock. They either recognise rangatiratanga or they don't. Read between the lines, whānau, and please help each other understand what the Crown is really saying. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou.